Hello everybody and welcome back to my Let's Play Stardock Control Origins episode 45. I loaded up the game and... oh, what's this? Navigator records detecting more hosts for overmind. Oh, great. And I was basically, I was hoping it would keep on autopilot, it didn't, so I just had to go back to my old episode to check where I was heading. So that's why I was clicking out when it came on. Oh, I have some good news, Stardock Control Origins, and Stardock Control in general. Apparently the lawsuit between Stardock and the original creators is over. Apparently they're trading, I believe Brad, who's Stardock, if I'm not mistaken, is trading, was it honey, to one of the original creators who's sending mead. And now that sounds weird, but that's part of the agreement. But basically, the gist of it for Stardock Control is basically the rich creators are going to help Stardock Control Origins and making some new, I was going to say villains, not villains, is it? Some new alien races, and maybe help with some storylines down the line. Down the line. Will be pretty neat. And they're also going to make their own version of Stardock Control, but theirs is, I can never say the name right. You know the main storyline for Stardock Control 1 and 2 is like the Uric race or something. I can never say it right. They're going to basically be making them. Their game's completely separate, and Brad, Stardock, is going to help them with technology. So they're going to be working well with each other and to have their own series of games. And also, another good news, I haven't double checked it yet, but they said Stardock Control 1, 2 and 3 will go back up for sale by Stardock. And then both parties will divide any profits by the game 50-50. So to me, it's 2 years of hell with the two games, but now it looks like it's going to come out really good and get more Stardock Control left, right and centre. It's going to be amazing. Okay, the one I clicked on... where was it? Villa. Travel to Villa and assist Mocan there and establish a net colony. See, Villa. It took me straight to here, so I guess we just check out here. Look. Oh, while I was clicking, I was like, click, travel. It doesn't work that way. Only the Quantum does. Oh, there's a place up there, maybe that's it. We'll check these places anyway. Okay, what's this? Minerals, not bad. Things right, stable. Good, good, good. Can get the resources while we're here. Oh, beautiful landing, in fact. Jump, yep. Oh! Oh no! You're not, you're an alien, I don't like killing you. Actually, if I did do one, I'll just do one, let's see what happens. I always tend to leave these, don't I? It's supposed to be a way to capture, I don't know how. What the heck? What the? Excuse me, dude, why can't I hit you? Oh, you literally just get meat. Oh. Yeah, I don't want to do that. There's also a way to capture a couple, like into a zoo or something, but I don't know how to do it. If you know, please put in the comments. Other than that, I tend to leave their pets. I was thinking maybe it's one of the mechanics where you shoot them enough, then you'll instantly capture them, but no. Oh! So, FN20, where's that stuff? Where is it? Woo-woo-woo. You knew it! Where is it? I don't know why I went, very Island Ice Tea in. That's a WWE reference, by the way. If you know, if you're a wrestling fan, you know what wrestling I'm talking about. Or copy injury free wrestling. Oh, got it, nice. The reason I'm not giving you the name because even though I can see it in my head, his name got out my head. My name's come back in my head. Zack Ryder. Who actually, well, actually, as recording of this episode, I am 2 or 3 weeks behind on Raw. I'm recording this on the 19th of June. I'm about 2 or 3 Raws behind, so I'm probably, I don't know, last month still. In that time period, Zack Ryder still the tag team champ. And you might be, whoa, he's already lost it by now. Probably when this episode goes up, he may have. And B, of course, as me recording, he may have. I just haven't seen the last couple of shows. I'm trying to catch up at the moment. But as of the time, he's a tag team champion as last stuff I've seen, and yet he's won it and barely defended it. I don't think he's even been on the show ever since this rubbish world card rules popped up. But basically means there's no brand split. I think it was another Raw the other day. One of the Raws I watched, I counted they had 10 Raw superstars on it. Yeah, it's supposed to be any more than 4 and they get suspended. It's like, what? It's stupid. And even then, some of them are debatable. Because, like, They tried to get away with Shane McMahon, for example. Well, he's the commissioner, he's the boss, he can do what he wants. Yet the whole story of a man who takes firewall. Oh, that ain't good. With Shane McMahon, but my whole thing with Shane McMahon, he's SmackDown commissioner, Stephanie, his sister's the Raw commissioner. They were put on separate shows because storyline-wise, they were fighting each other. And they couldn't coexist. Yes, Stephanie all of a sudden, yeah, she's fine with him showing up on a show every week. Full. That makes no logical sense. So to me, he should be classed as a wildcard SmackDown. But they try to get away with it. Well, he's the boss, and you know. And then as for the others, Becky Lynch, she. Ooh, here's something. This is what we wanted. Let me grab this before I go to that. Oh, all these things. Becky Lynch, for example, she's basically a SmackDown superstar, 100%. She won the Raw, and she won the SmackDown title. No one ever said she changed other than she was a wild card. And then just last week, randomly, oh, she is basically a Raw superstar. Like, how? She won a SmackDown, she won the Raw, she then lost the SmackDown title, but no one ever transferred across. And basically, she can keep going to Raw, defend the Raw because the wildcard rule. But now, all of a sudden, she's randomly a Raw superstar. Like, that makes no sense. That's not one they tried to get away with, but theoretically, it's too bad 10 superstars from the wrong show on that show. It's silly.
See if we can get this thing flying again.
Oh, good. You gave me a bit of a wrestling talk during this episode. As you do know, I do wrestling stuff on my channel. But I do think the wildcard, I know why they're doing it. The network, the ratings are down, they want big stars on the both shows, yada yada. It makes sense. Story for them to do it for that reason. But what doesn't make sense is the whole reason they had a brand split to begin with, because the roster was so big to give everyone opportunities. And now you're literally seeing. No, I done this one. Now you're literally seeing basically like Roman Reigns on every show, Shane McMahon on every show. And instead of Roman say being on, he's now SmackDown officially, so instead of him being SmackDown only, and Shane being SmackDown only, and that leaves more space on Raw for mid-carders, or even, how about the Raw Tag Team Champions, Zack Ryder, and his partners, for example. Warning, check this out, be dangerous. You know. But instead you get people like, who aren't showing up on the shows, and having less time because you're seeing Shane all the time. And then even then, they show you what Roman did on SmackDown. They show what Roman did on Raw. It's like, before you just showed up what he did on SmackDown. And a lot of other people who should be on the show aren't getting opportunities to be on the show. And now with the 24/7 rule, it's basically a carbon copy of Hardcore title 24/7 rule. 24/7 title. Basically. And it's quite fun. And it's one way to get the other people not being shown seen. But the fact is, every week all you do see them running in and running out. And then maybe suddenly get pinned, new champ, and then get pinned again. It's a little boring. Like, that's also the idea where I'm up to. R-Truth is four-time, as me watching, champion for the 24/7 rule. He just lost it to, for the second time, Elias, and then beat him again. It was weird how they did it. They had Elias win the match very quickly, and that was a little silly. But so this is hence why I say with the time limit, it's not good on it. They had him win super quick to have everybody, the lumberjacks, attack him, and then somehow he's the target. They lost sight of him and he crawled away. It's like, what the? Then they did a little funny thing where he went under the ring. R-Truth followed him. 1, 2, 3. Well run, the new champ, and he runs off with it. Like, that part was funny. But the other part of him just sneak out where they're all, we're going straight for the champ, but then he sneaks past us and we start beating the living hell out of everyone else. Makes no logical sense. The other thing, for the funny thing, I gather, that was a bit too far. And like, the thing what they're doing with is fun, but it's sad. People like EC3 basically does nothing. He's just running or having a few hits on like a minute segment. That is all he's doing, considering how he was pushed in TNA, you know, back. And so he shows he is a good superstar. WWE version, you've never seen him before. You think he's one of the worst stars there. He never gets time. I remember, so far, I remember having 2 official matches. He might have had the extra one, but I don't remember. Because they don't happen very often. 2 official matches against Dean Ambrose. Won the opening, good, then lost the next one. And ever since then, he's just been constantly looking in the mirror, a bit like Lex Luger, Narcissist, used to. And sitting in the back. At least Lex Luger, Narcissist was winning matches. Was getting airtime. He's basically got a cup in his hand. Or he's running. That is it. Or he's throwing a couple of punches in the background of another 20 people throwing a couple of punches. Jump over you a little bit. So... So like I said, there's a bit of a mess to show at the moment, unfortunately. AEW's kind of kicking their butts, and they've only had one show, what's sad. AEW ain't going to be no competition to put them out of business because they're too big, but if they can get them back in the Attitude Era mentality, where they throw everything at the wall, take risks, you're going to get a load of rubbish stuff, but you're also getting a few gold stuff, and that's gold stuff they need to run with, and that's what they did with the Attitude Era. The Stone Colds, the Rocks, they ran with it. The Plastic, and they brought it back for one funny segment once. You know, the Katie Vick, you know, more technically that was probably more Ruthless Aggression era. So, but I think the Katie Vick was definitely 2002-ish, if I'm not mistaken. It was more Ruthless Aggression, but still, it's the tail end of the Attitude Era basically being slowly turned off, isn't it? And the hand, I'm sure that was still the Attitude Era. I think that was before 2002. I might be mistaken. If you remember what year, put it in the comments. Because why I said Attitude Era it was the best time. We had some of the worst TV ever from WWE, but we had some of the best as well. Other time periods, we've had good and bad, but never to the extreme of the Attitude Era, the worst and the bad all at once. It was more in the middle then. So why it still is the best period. I started watching wrestling officially, I mean regularly from '95, so before the Attitude Era started. Not many years granted, but before it started. I believe the first show I watched, I had it in my head for ages, it was WrestleMania, but it wasn't. The ladder match stood out. Ray Ramon versus, obviously, you know, Stone versus Shawn Michaels. In my head, Shawn won it. But every time I got the WrestleMania one, he's like, you lost every time. But then I think it was it Survivor Series? They had a rematch and Shawn won that one. So that's probably the event I watched. My first ever pay-per-view I seen on TV. And also, obviously I've gone back and watched all the early ones since then, but I mean actually seen at the time. And if I remember correctly, Bret Hart was the main event against Big Daddy called Diesel. And I think he lost it to Diesel in that show. But it's like 5 years ago. But it was I remember the powerbomb through a table and stuff. They're probably the only two memories I have from that first event I ever saw when I first got to wrestle when I was younger. There's probably other matches there, but they're blank what they are. And Bret and Shawn became my two top favourites. All the way up to WrestleMania 12 when Bret lost and Bret became my favourite of all time. And then later on, I started seeing Jericho. It was pretty good. Wasn't my top favourite at the time, no. First thing I saw Jericho was the Jokeaholic shirt. And he's doing that whole, I'm a Jokeaholic, cameras away from his face, I can't handle it, and all that, and then the camera goes, put it down, and all this stuff. That was hilarious. Then Shawn Michaels returned, added to his career, and for me he overtook Bret because he added to his career where Bret couldn't, unfortunately. And on top of that, Jericho overtook Shawn for me, so now my overall favourite is Shawn Michaels. Chris Jericho, then Shawn Michaels, then Bret now. It used to be Bret and Shawn, and then Bret, and then Shawn and Bret, but now it's Jericho, Bret, Shawn. Favourite woman wrestler of all time, Trish, second, and Natalia. Okay. Why have I not been able to do this little, set this thing up for them yet? Because after this one I've covered everything. I'll have to reread it, see what it says. So I thought this was the place I needed to do it. Over you go! This Dark Control turned into a real big... Great Dark News to start and Star Control News, and then turned into wrestling talk. Anyway, only about a minute of this episode, so hopefully we can do this planet quick. Or moon, whatever this class has. And then we can work out with the actual quest, why we came here originally. Okay, what am I missing? 3 critters out to leave. There it is. Okay. Okay, if I'm not mistaken, I'm not. Oh, it's this one. Oh, Villa. That's it. That's the one, isn't it? It's literally the last one I needed to do.
Captain, that looks like the Muke colony Bloa told us
Yep,
about.
this is what we came
We
for.
should drop by.
And we will do that next episode. Please like, please subscribe, please tune next time. Time saying bye for now. Have a great, wonderful day out there. And of course, if you haven't already, subscribe and share this video. And like I said, please put some comments down, especially about some of the things I asked. If you're a wrestling fan, hopefully you are, because you already watch my channel with my wrestling programming as well. So fingers crossed. Oh, look at them moving around. So hopefully you can put some comments and some insights on the stuff I talked about. What's your view on the current era of wrestling versus the Attitude Era, etc. and that? And of course, keep in mind what I said about the date, and I'm a couple of rows behind. I literally told you the last match from Raw, well, not the last match of Raw, but the last 24/7 rule match. So give you an indication how far behind I am. So no spoilers. See you next week. Bye everyone.